170-pound contest here, the welterweights. I remember seeing him weigh-ins. I was thinking he was tall, but yeah, he's at a John's Gym out of Austin, Texas. And you know, John's Gym, you're like, all right, that's a pretty standard name, but I'll tell you, these guys, they have a strong skill set behind them, a unique style of striking, good, consistent, effective grappling. This will be a fun fight, and his opponent's walking out soon. Davor Williams coming off a knockout of the year candidate. This will be a good one. These are some pretty big welterweights, too.
Looking very calm on the walkout as well. Just kind of leisurely stepping out, kind of just taking everything as it comes. Doesn't look super nervous.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a really good fight. I know both of these guys are ready to go. Like you said, John's Gym has been producing a lot of good athletes, a lot of good fighters, and especially everyone in Houston in general, in Texas, there's just a lot of talent going around. And I know a lot of people are cross-training. They're fighting a lot of good guys, and they're training, and a lot of people are getting better. So I'm excited to see the talent that we're bringing up, the amateurs coming in, and I know these guys are excited to be here with one of the best promotions around.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Nishant ready in the cage. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Devin Williams.
All right, Devin Williams, if I'm not mistaken, is the last fighter of the night out of Next Level. They had that, title fight that got dropped, so they'll be their last one. Devin Williams is southpaw. His style reminds me a lot of Jamal Hill. Devin Williams fought at 185 in his debut. He's dropped down a weight class since. Usually shows the diet, the cardio, the training has really tightened up. And I'll tell you, he got a brutal KO in his last fight. I've been waiting to see him fight ever since that knockout.
Yeah, he's coming off of a win. That's one of those things. You're coming as an amateur. You have 1-1 record. It's nothing but experience, but he made up for that first loss with a beautiful win after. So now he's coming in. Next Level is busy today. This is the third fight in a row that they're having. So we'll see how everything goes.
All right, we have our tail of the tape here. Devin Williams did come in a pound over. We have the taller fighter in ready. Fighter comes in, that's funny, a pound and a half under both guys in their young 20s. There's no way that 85-inch reach is accurate, as I believe that's longer than John Jones, and he's got the record of the UFC, so I think he's at 84 and a half.
Okay.
So that's probably a type where it's supposed to say 75 inches. All the same, he knows how to put that reach to use. Devin Williams, the southpaw, with a good left hand and a great left high kick.
And Devin as well, part of the Next Level Gym. They come over on Saturdays and get some open sparring on with forearms. So I seen Devin in the gym. We sparred a couple rounds, and he's looking good. He's looking fresh. So I'm excited to see his progression. But he is long. I don't know about 85 inch reach, but he's long.
All right, the guys in the cage. Let's keep this one going.
The following contest brought to you by the Cock of the Walk, Warbringer Whiskey, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Welterweight Division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist is 6 feet 3 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 168.4 pounds. Fighting out of John's Gym in Austin, Texas. Tonight, he makes his amateur debut. This is Nishant Ready! And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Representing Next Level Training Center, this freestyle fighter stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, and he weighed in at 172 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, by way of New Orleans, Louisiana, his amateur record stands at 1 win, 1 loss. Here is Devin El Chef Williams. Your referee in charge of the action, Ryan Thompson.
Let's go, Dan!
All right, this fight started.
Devin El Chef, let's see what he cooks up today.
I'm excited to see how Reddy uses that height and that range, because he's very tall.
And Reddy with a big body kick on the open stance. Oh, nice.
Big haymakers off the rope.
A little bit of a kick fight to start it out.
type of attempt there from Reddy as Williams kind of crashes in and initiates that clinch game. A strong body lock right into a trip. He was going for full mount, but Reddy did a good job just instantly addressing it. But man, Devin able to stay in position. Oh man.
Big shots from his back control.
Yeah.
Already covering up, trying to get his legs loose, but not quite able to get it out.
They got
Might have an end soon here.
way to move.
Reddy's covering up, pushing on the legs, trying to recover some sort of a guard.
And Devin Williams with that round 1 TKO. Fought hard, got the takedown, saw that he was in a dominant position and just really committed to landing those big strikes. Wasn't trying to pace himself at all. He smelled the finish.
You can also see the ref really
fight.
did try to give Reddy a chance to recover some sort of guard. He covered up once, went back trying to escape, and then covered up again, and that's where the ref really does have to take care of the fighter.
And he made it look easy. You know, he took him down, hit the ground and pound, and Next Level's been finding a lot of success with their wrestling to the ground and pound. You know, they're really elevating their game. They're known for striking and, you know, staying on the feet, throwing fun kicks. And, you know, now you can see that they're starting to elevate their game. They're starting to get into the wrestling. They're starting to get into the jiu-jitsu. And then they're finding their ground and pound after that.
Very strong in the output as well. Just huge, big bombs.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ryan Thompson calls for a stop to the fight. 1 minute, 17 seconds into the very first round. Declaring your winner by TKO, Devin El Chef Williams.
I'm here with Devin Williams. In his last fight, he got a brutal KO on the feet. This time, he finds a brutal finish on the ground. Was the wrestling a part of the game plan?
Honestly, nah, but we got into the clinch, and I felt like I could take him down, so, you know, well, fuck it, why not, right?
Yeah, and fuck it indeed, as you got in position, you weren't holding back any energy, you weren't conserving, you were going for the finish from that back mount, from the mount. When you got to that dominant position, were you just gonna keep throwing punches that hard until the ref jumped in?
Oh yeah, that was a plan. I felt that I knew I could stay on top, so might as well do that.
Man, it's fun to watch fighters fight at that pace. That's 2 wins in a row, that's 2 nasty finishes in a row, both in the first round. What do you want to do next?
Woo, y'all know what I want, baby. Either give me that belt or something to set up that belt, baby. I want it all. I'm coming for it. 2025 is mine, and this fucking, all of this is mine too.
Hey man, you earned it tonight. Congratulations. Devin Williams, everybody.
Good work from Devin Williams. Solid wrestling, cage work to the trip, solid positioning.
Please welcome to the blue corner, Austin Hines.
Walking out, we have Austin Hines. For those that y'all don't really know, he's got a really big following. He's a big jiu-jitsu practitioner. Very high hopes for this kid. He's doing very, very high level, and he's only 17 years old. You know, it reminds us almost of Jackson Glass, as big of a following and big as a star here in the is in the making.
Yeah, I remember I actually went to Andrew Craig's gym on 10th Planet. You see Andrew Craig, just, I mean, veteran of the UFC, a Houston staple. And then you see Dallas Dodd, a Fury pro. Remember, I went to train with him one weekend, and I saw this young Austin Hines, and he was there and excited. He wasn't old enough to fight yet, but now he's 17. You have to get parental consent to fight if you're under the age of 18. But yeah, he's ready to rock. I've heard a lot of really good things about this young blood. I've actually been waiting to see his debut.
You know, yeah, he also sees himself as double champ for Fury in the future. He said he wants the 125 and the 135 strap. I always like it when guys set the bar very high for themselves. They got nothing but, you know, opportunity in the front of them. So we'll see how he does tonight.
Yeah, and you almost never see a 17-year-old who's not ultra prepared, because it's risky to fight at that age, which means they've been training for probably most of their life. All right, we got the young blood in the cage. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome Davor Gallegos to the red corner.
Davor Gallegos guy coming out of Metro Fight Club. He's also got great people in his corner. You got Adrian Hines in his corner, UFC vet. And Davor is no slouch. You know, we saw him in his last fight. He really brought the pressure. He brought it, and he came to fight. And he told me in the back, he said, I'm looking for a finish. Looking for a second round finish. Most people said they didn't want to fight Mr. Austin Hines. Davor said, no worries, I can do that. I'm ready, I'm game, and I'm ready to go. So I'm excited to see how fired up he comes. I'll see how it's going to look on the ground, and I think Davor's ready to go.
Yeah, we got some youngsters. One of them debuting. This is Gallegos' second fight. But in our co-main event, we have the Bantamweight Championship. So truly the highest level of amateur fights at this weight class. Both guys coming in under the limit. You see both of them young, but Austin Hines, and only 17 years old, same height. Austin Hines with a slight reach advantage. We got a fight on our hands, boys.
This one's looking to be a good one, guys. I always like to see the 35 goes. I started at 35, so I've always had great respect for that weight class.
This fight also brought to you by Danuna Law Firm. If you guys ever need any legal advice or counsel, that is the law firm to call. All right, Gallegos is getting his final little free fight check. All right, we got him walking to the cage. It's always fun to watch these youngsters throw down. Let's get this one started. Back to Wayne.
The following contest, brought to you by DanunaLawFirm.com, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Bantamweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in at 134 pounds. Fighting out of 10th Planet in Austin, Texas, tonight he makes his amateur debut. This is Austin, Baby Go Hines. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 135.8 pounds. Fighting out of Metro Fight Club in Houston, Texas, tonight, he seeks his first amateur win. Here is Davor Gallegos. Your referee in charge, Danielle Guevara.
All right, our first bantamweight fight of the evening. Hines in the blue gloves, Gallegos in the red gloves. This fight is underway.
Gallegos is coming with 15 years of experience with his boxing, only 2.5 years of MMA, so I want to see how he puts together. Is his hands going to be what makes the challenge of this fight?
Yeah, he's had a couple of pretty good uppercuts as Gallegos.
Shout out to the Metro guys. You know, Jackson Glass couldn't find an opponent. Adrian Munoz out of Metro said, I'll do it. You know, and they took him to 3 rounds. We really made Jackson work. And same thing with Davor. No one also said it was hard to find him a fight. No one really wanted to fight him. And Davor said, I'll step up and I'll fight him. And that's what it's all about here. We shouldn't be scared to be fighting other amateurs, guys. Let's get better. Let's learn. And let's keep fighting. Let's keep getting better. The only way we can test ourselves is going with someone that we believe has very superior skills, and we want to test them against them.
Absolutely. It's funny, Metro Fight Club has been around since, before I was fighting, and the reputation has always kind of preceded them. They've always been known as a very good, tough gym.
Also, going off what you said, Michael, it's, you have to fight everyone in the city. If you want to make it to the bigger shows, you got to make a statement by beating everyone in the city.
Stiff jab there from Gallegos. That right uppercut has really busted the nose up already of Hines, as Hines is almost forced to wrestle.
The uppercut landed very clean. You can see the blood spilling out of his nose.
Yeah, that was maybe the third one, and a crisp jab behind it. Classic single leg here from Hines, but
doing a good job of counter wrestling, healing, using his underhooks.
Davor's doing solid defense, solid work against the cage. Way to not get taken down, way to keep punching him and keep hitting him.
Hines really in on that head pressure, trying to finish the takedown, keeping the cage pressure on. That's one of those things with these grapplers. We're used to hard pressure the whole time.
Man, yeah, you can see the blood. It's funny now they kind of panned out. That blood is all from the nose there of Austin Hines. It's really the first bit of blood we've seen.
And it's one thing you always want to see with grapplers, you know, jiu-jitsu, wrestlers. How are they going to feel when they take that first punch? Because they're not used to it. They're not used to getting hit. They're used to going on submissions and messing with their legs. So it's good to get Austin tested here, especially for such a young kid.
Yeah, and bloody nose is not bad for 17-year-olds. But in this stage, if you're going to bleed at your nose, 17 is the year in a fist fight. So, I mean...
He's just building up that scar tissue now, gets used to it, eventually
Nice.
pop
Hines
open
successful,
so easy.
though, on that chain wrestling there from Hines as he's in on the back. I mean, this is effectively what he's been looking for this entire first round. There's not a lot of time left to work, but it's good. This may not be enough to win him the round, but it is enough psychologically to know he can put himself in positions to win this fight.
Absolutely, to know that he can try to find his grappling in the second round, maybe start to work to get his takedowns, his submissions, and what he's very well at.
Man, a good first round. I'll tell you, it really was the power and most of the boxing of Gallegos that did a lot of the damage in that round, but Austin Hines, he did find success there in that final 30 seconds, which can give you confidence going into round 3.
And like we talked about it all night, the pressure sometimes kills. It hurts, you know, when Gallegos is walking him down, he's in his face, especially as a young kid, you know, it's almost a little threatening, it's a little intimidating sometimes. So Gallegos really found good combinations that worked. He used his forward pressure, and the forward pressure also stops and helps those takedown defenses.
The one thing that's never going to work against you when you're fighting MMA is having good striking and good counter wrestling. If you're going to strike, if you're going to try to stay on your feet, you got to be able to counter wrestle well. It's one thing we're seeing from Gallegos.
And Austin, this is a good experience for him. Like you said, it's his first fight. He's 17 years old, and he's in a dog fight. There's no bad thing as a dog fight. You know, it's good. We're gonna experience it at least once. We don't want to do it every time, but sometimes.
A few times, sometimes guys get hit with a big punch and they freeze up, but man, Hines does not seem dejected whatsoever.
Hines being a little more cautious now, trying to take his time, not stepping in quite as fast. And a good counter right from Hines as well.
I'll tell you, Hines is also throwing good punches and he's landing well, but there's just a big physical difference between these guys. Gallegos got a lot more volume behind those punches. And like in terms of like actual mass in his arms.
Yeah, exactly. He's still a young kid. He's still growing. He's still learning. He's still developing as a young man. You know, he's 17 years old. No, he's only going to get bigger. He's only going to get stronger. And I'm sure he's going to start hitting more weights and he's going to start lifting and doing all the things necessary to take him to the next level. That's what he wants to do.
Yep. Again, Gallegos is able to get that underhook. Getting stuck on the cage, not great, but getting the underhook, counter wrestling, making the guy get tired trying to wrestle is a big, important part of just counter wrestling well.
That was a strong entry from Hines too. He had a nice little angle change, dropped down to both knees, got that leg stood back up really quickly. Now Gallegos did a good job kind of using a basic over-under, put himself on the cage, but that was a strong entry there from Hines.
One thing about getting hit hard with the grapplers is, are they going to hold and do nothing, or are they going to continue to try to win the fight with that grappling? And Hines looks like he's totally in the fight. This is a really awesome way to get hit and then keep that pressure forward.
And if you've seen Hines' jiu-jitsu, you know he's a high-level jiu-jitsu guy. And most of those guys, Jackson Glasses of the world, they're looking for the finishes. They're looking for the submissions, and that's what they're always going to be hunting. I think the issue sometimes with the jiu-jitsu practitioners is that they don't wrestle as much. They start on their ground, you know. So when it gets to wrestling, the wrestling's a little different. Don't get the ball sharp, but he did a way better job of mixing it in.
Man,
and blending it.
he was
Great defense from Davor.
He was so close on that. He had the hands locked. He goes for the trip. And it's a nice little duck under.
And take the back.
Notice it's been the second and third kind of chain link in the wrestling offense there of Austin Hines.
Really twisting that leg
he's
in.
just being resilient. He's not allowing that final step to be completed on these techniques.
He's doing a good job of not letting Gallegos turn back into him.
I mean, Davor's had great defense this whole 2 minutes that he's been on the cage. He just needs to work to try to get off the cage and create space and get back to his striking, where he was having a lot of success.
Crafty little knee over the top there.
You see Hines is really trying to cause damage everywhere with the wrestling at the same time, trying to make sure that he does enough to get the round, not just with the pressure, but with a little bit of damage as well.
Good job from Davor.
Nice. All right, that was a better round from Hines. At least a little more competitive than the first. I mean, I'm not too sure how to score that second round, as it was competitive. But
Yeah.
I think Davor Gallegos he did some damage in his box and he shut down a lot of the wrestling of Hines. I think that's a Gallegos round 2. And I think he also won round 1 pretty decisively.
Yeah, and you
That's
don't
what
want to
makes
be
it weird.
deceived.
Sometimes that when you're on the fence and you're defending, do we get points for defending the takedowns, or do you get points for attempting the takedowns? You know, especially when there's not much damage to go off of.
So if there's no damage, then it is based off of that pressure, that cage control. Who is trying to score? Who is trying to do damage? Who is trying to find those takedowns?
Gotcha.
And if that's the case, it was Austin Hines, but he wasn't particularly successful as he had no scored takedowns. The strikes were relatively even, so again, a close second round.
You also don't want to be deceived. Gallegos has quite a bit of blood on him, but it's actually from Austin Hines in the first round. They didn't do quite a good job of wiping all that blood off.
The the judges are actually instructed to not count blood if it's from a cut that happened in round 1. If the cut gets worse, then you can score that, but they try not to let that, play into future rounds unless it gets worse.
You see Gallegos keeps shaking his head, nope, that's not doing anything to me. It's one of those things where you almost don't want to give too much away. Just walk him down, throw your combos, and be forward. Don't acknowledge anything that's going on, even if you're doing well.
So when Derek Lewis fought Curtis Blades, he nuked him with a right uppercut. Anytime you fight someone you know is going to shoot double edge, you often add that uppercut into your arsenal. It looks like Davor Gallegos has really put a lot of work with that rear power uppercut in this fight camp because he's landed that punch more consistently and done more damage than any other strike. Nice inside choke though from Austin Hines. And he's got plenty of time to work.
And we're in his wheelhouse now. This is where he operates. This is where he likes to be. This is where he's most comfortable being. As you can see, he's still growing, he's still learning on the feet, but this is where he strives. This is where he is great.
Now I'm wondering in the corner, what did Austin Hines, team say to him? Did they say you may have won that round, or we're down 2, we need to look for the finish?
No, you always have to assume you lost. If you're not certain you won, I think they tells him he needs a finish, and he's fighting like he needs a finish as he's in full mount with almost 2 minutes to work.
Full mount to the back.
Got a body triangle in, hard to escape, gonna start hunting that chin down.
He's got a body, it's gonna be a hard position to escape here from Gallegos.
You see Hines lift up at his corner looking for a little bit of information. Can't quite get the choke in. Gallegos is doing a good job of fighting against that rear naked choke.
Yeah, Davor's doing a good job finding the hands, but this is a very dangerous position with a dangerous person who does this for days and years. So Davor's got to find everything he can, even try to spaz out maybe if he can, and try to get out of this position and work to his feet.
One of the best things about being a grappler that gets to throw punches now is fitting the choke in is also adding some strikes in to get it in, and there it is.
Like
it's
said,
deep.
as he said that, he starts to slip
It's
it in.
fully figured forward. I'd be surprised if we see an escape. Gallegos is fighting the hands. Will it be enough, though? 45 seconds is more than enough time to finish this choke.
Very
there's
tight,
the
and there
tap.
it is.
Austin Hines finds the finish in
Beautiful.
round 3. Wow, congrats to that young blood. That was insane.
Austin Hines
A lot
just
of
stick to
resilience
the
from the
game
young
plan. What a good,
resilience from the
solid
young guy.
output.
Great to see that. Great to see him fight through some adversity. First round did not go his way. Getting hit, getting beat up, bloodied his own nose. He's not used to seeing us getting bloody as a jiu-jitsu guy. So what a hell of a fight that was. Great from Davor. He did a great fight, and Austin found what he's great at, and he took over.
Solid work from Austin Hines. Solid finish. Way to find the way to go through all that adversity. Like you said, Michael, sometimes we don't know how these jiu-jitsu guys are going to act after they get hit hard. And he acted right. He stuck to the game plan. I'm happy to see that, especially as a jiu-jitsu guy here.
And he called it. He said the jiu-jitsu guys, now they're able to use punches. So you can see through the punches, it made Davor have to get up, have to defend, and leave his neck up. And easy for him to slip his arm in and get that rear naked. It was beautiful, and can't wait to see Austin Hines again and watch him grow into Fury.
All right, let's go to our 4th man in the cage, Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 2 minutes, 14 seconds into the 3rd and final round. Declaring your winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Austin Baby Goat Hines.
All right, guys, I'm here with your Austin Hines. Austin, you fought like you needed to finish there in round 3. You're on the very short list of young men who fought at the age of 17. You got the ball past that goal line, man. How does it feel getting this first victory in the cage?
It feels great, Alex. It was a rough start, but I got into it. I found the finish. I knew I needed the finish. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't get the finish.
Yeah, hey man, excellent experience. You're gonna look back on this fight and be very grateful it went to the 3rd round. And the striking looked strong. I mean, you fought a good boxer, but you finally found the takedown round 3. Was using, your long-time skill set on the ground a big part to this victory in y'all's game planning?
Absolutely. I was trying to get the fight to the ground early on, but couldn't get it there. But I'm always gonna fight through. And I'm a 25er. I fight at flyweight. No one would fight me at flyweight. I had to move up to bantamweight. So right now I'm calling out all the flyweights. I'm warmed up now. I'm ready to go.
And then lastly, I saw your coach, Andrew Craig, with the Baby Goat shirt on. I was curious, explain to the fans what your fight name's origin is.
So I've always told everyone that I'm gonna be the GOAT. I'm the GOAT. And one of my friends told me I'm just the Baby Goat. So one day it'll be just GOAT, but for now I'm the Baby Goat.
I think we just saw the future of MMA fight, his amateur debut. Congratulations, your winner, the Baby Goat, Austin Hines.